Liam Edwards. Now, yeah, we're gonna do a bit of a question for him, and yeah. So, what have been your key moments in your sporting career to date, Liam?
Yeah, obviously making the state team was definitely my goal, my key moments. I guess finishing second in the national titles, that was a goal. To try and make the Australian team, that didn't come off, which obviously the injury from a few months ago has obviously put everything on hold with making the Australian team and my future goals and that kind of thing. But it definitely hasn't stopped me from trying and pushing on.
Just grab this form here, and I'll quick over on what's up here. Now, it's what's surprising is Liam's only a 20-year-old male, and the list of his achievements: National Road Cycling Championship, Paracycling Road Race 2020, come first. National Road Cycling Championship, Paracycling Time Trials, second 2020. Victorian State Road Cycling Championship, 128 Ks under 23, second in 2019, and the list goes on. You all read that up there. That's something that I tell you what, if you got to the end of your career and you could have something like that, you'd be patting yourself on the back for. But sorry, just go back to this one over here. Alright, how did you get into cycling, Liam?
So Dad was, I guess say, a triathlete. I guess he did it between training for football and that kind of thing. So he was doing triathlons and that kind of thing. And as he got older, he couldn't swim too much, but he could run and ride. With his back playing up and in his hip, he more chose the riding over the running. And he was paying his membership down the track, the velodrome, and I thought, might as well give it a go. And at that point, I was playing football and a few other sports, obviously running, and I thought, it'd be good to do that sport, to do some training, some cross training. So from then on, I just loved it, just loved the freedom and the places you see, the places you go with cycling. It's awesome, and the thrill you get with racing, it's like a drug, I guess. Everyone knows here with being fit, it's like a drug, and it's hard to not be fit, really.
What support group did you get as a young cyclist?
Probably everyone in the bunch. We had Steve Fairless, Olympian, from Shepparton, so he was really good, coaching me and motivating me over the hills and taking me under his wing. There's been a lot of other club riders that have helped me along the way to get where I am and obviously help me get back from injury and that kind of thing.
Can you give us a bit of a rundown on your training prior to the accident? How were you able to manage your training with obviously work and school?
It was pretty hard. I work at a pizza place, a pizzeria, so there's been a lot of late nights. When you're finishing at 1 o'clock in the morning and then waking up at 5 to ride, it's made it very difficult. But I guess it's doing me training in the morning and you have time. You have time during the day to have a sleep and that kind of thing. But it's a fitting with training, and it's just been time management kind of thing.
So your goals prior to the accident, you were fit, everything was travelling well. Where did you think your racing was heading?
Actually, funnily enough, probably a week after the accident happened, I got a message from one of the guys on Facebook saying, we've got a team over in France, a Div 2 team, with paid salary, accommodation paid for, food paid for. So that was a bit of a kick in the guts with not only the injury and where I was heading, to know that I was going to be racing over in France at a high level and potentially, going on with that and with this injury stopping me or delaying me really in the process of trying to get where I am. It's a bit of a kick in the guts, but yeah.
So as you can see, like Liam's early lead up to his with his cycling, everything was going really well. I've had a contract, looking at heading over to do some serious cycling, and then we had this. Can you tell us a bit of a lead up to this? Is this?
Yeah, I guess they say bad luck comes in threes. The week before I hit a kangaroo in my car, travelling home, and then the day before the accident, I got my car broken into, parked behind the pizza place, and that's why I was in the work vehicle. My boss gave me the car in goodwill, and yeah, it was all a flow on events. The accident happened the day before my birthday. It was a whole lot of events that occurred to end up like that.
Yeah. So the crash was on the 19th of the 10th, 2019. So that's what's that, 4 months ago. So since then, the car.
Mike.
We might have to go without a microphone for a while.
We see
That's right. How easily and quickly did the accident happen?
It happened pretty quickly and happened pretty slowly at the same time. Coming into the corner in cruise control, and then all I remember is the lead-up events is hitting like a divot in the road. It's a very very bumpy road from Voltown to Shep, and I just remember hitting the corner and it oversteered. I went to fight it back, but the back end come around and it ended up in a ditch over the other side of the road, hitting the tree and then flipping. I think it was 3.5 times, and ending it where it is at the moment.
So after the crash there, you were sitting in the car. What happened next?
Yeah, I don't know whether it's funny or I don't know what it is, but after the crash happened, I thought, I obviously survived it, and then a few seconds later, the airbag actually come off. So after all that, hitting the tree and rolling three times, whatever it was, and the airbag come off after it, and obviously regaining consciousness after that. I just remember smelling fuel and the motor sizzling, so I knew I had to get out. So I seen the top window was smashed in, and so I used my hand to get up, and that's when I seen the injury, and it was pretty gory. And as you can see the door, there's all blood on it, and it was really only there for a few seconds. So it shows how much blood I was losing at that time. And then from there, I just jumped out of the car and didn't know what to do.
So you walked down the road to a driveway. How far down the road was that?
I can only guess, it was probably only, I can say only, but it was 300 metres down the road, and then there was a driveway going into the house, which was probably another 200-300 metres on top of that. So I just remember walking in there with blood squirting out and holding my hand up, trying to stop the blood flow, or try and make it less. Walking down there, I just remember seeing the lights so bright, and then getting to the place, walking into the driveway, and I was halfway down and I heard a car come out, coming from the road. So quickly ran out and seen the white car, and just basically did hand signals, and from there she ran 000 and tried to keep me in a stable condition.
Sitting in the car and the accidents happened. You've spoken previously about it. What was your what was your mindset when you're in the car? I mean, it takes it. You're in a very unsafe situation. How do you handle that?
Yeah, I was talking to doctors and that kind of thing. I was talking to other people, and they said there's two kinds of people. There's fight and flight, and at the point where I smelled the fuel and motor sizzling, that kind of thing, I knew I had to get out and had to find a possible way. I can guarantee that if I just stayed there, just in shock, I would have bled to death. There's no doubt about that. I was talking to a few of the paramedics that were on scene after that, and they said they chucked a blood bag in me on Silent Road and transported me to the helicopter to the Elfin Hospital. There's another one had a blood bag in me, so yeah, 2 blood bags. Doesn't really sound good.
So very lucky. How lucky are you to be sitting here in front of her here today?
Yeah, extremely lucky. There's been 15, 20 girls that have saved my life and to make me here. Although I was lost 4 fingers, it's really done me in this
Spoke to Liam's mum Nadine, and just quickly, can you explain this to us, to everyone, just your emotions when the accident, when you got the phone call and from the doctors?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got a phone call from Liam's employee at about 6:30 on a Saturday evening to say Liam hasn't arrived at work. Gut feeling, something's gone wrong. You know your children. We know Liam arrives at work early. He was supposed to be there an hour early at 5:30. So my husband, Liam's father, Brianna and I jump in the car, head straight towards the road that we knew he would be on. Brianna had contacted a couple of his mates through social media. Was he just to check? Had he forgotten he was on? Trying to cover all bases. So then I rang the local hospital in Shepparton. Not there. He wasn't in the emergency. So whether that's a good thing, whether that's a bad thing, we didn't know at this stage. But gut feeling was if he'd had a mechanical, he would have rang because he would have got mobile reception in that area. So then I rang the local Shepparton police station, and they hadn't heard of any accidents. But what they did do is they did take my name, details. I explained Liam was my son, and within about 2 minutes, 3 possibly, they rang me back.
Hang on, I'm coming. I've torn a cord. I can't run.
I've got a loud voice on the microphone.
Yeah, Rob.
You can.
You over there now.
I'm probably loud enough, Rob.
Yeah, you're right.
So, we got a phone call, police rings, Nadine Edwards, Liam Edwards' mother, yes I am. And then you get that sick feeling of, are you driving right now? And I said, no, I'm a passenger, because Travis, my husband, was driving. He goes, I've got news on Liam, I suggest you pull to the side of the road. For about 5 seconds then, Brianna was in the car as well. You all of a sudden think, this is not great. This is a fatality. That's really, truly, for 5 seconds, we had braced ourselves for a fatality. So when the policeman actually said, look, Liam's been involved in a serious accident, he's been airlifted to the Alfred Hospital, doesn't look like he's got life, he's in a serious condition but not life injuries. So all of a sudden, you're up, he's going to live. But then on our way to Alfred, you go down, you're going, well, serious injuries, is that head, neck, spinal? What does this mean? So all the way, we drove to the Alfred Hospital. The attending police officer who had attended the accident gave us the most information. He'd attended the accident. He was able to probably rest our mind at ease. We don't think there's head injuries. Spinal and neck, we're pretty sure we don't seem to think there's anything there. He kept going on, and everyone kept going on about a serious hand injury. To us, at the time, a serious injury didn't mean anything to us. He was going to live, we were going to bring our son home. A serious hand injury, it can get operated on. So as we got to hospital, the Alfred Hospital rang and they were able to confirm no neck, no spinal, no head injuries. So that was a relief. So all along, even though everybody were pumping on about this serious hand injury, to us it was irrelevant. You know, this hand will fix, it'll get better. Whatever the serious case of it is, we're going to get our son home. And unfortunately, not everyone gets that privilege. We're just lucky we did. So I'll end it on that.
The injuries. Right here. Yeah, can you tell us a bit about your injuries?
Yeah, well, obviously, 4 fingers, or 3 and a bit fingers. Had to get amputated due to infection, and yeah, just not being able to put it back together. And I was actually, I had one of the surgeons message me probably about a month ago, and he said they knew a backstory about how I was a keen cyclist and wanted to get exceed to the elite level, and he was gutted for me, knowing that how was I going to be to ride again with my fingers, and he heard about me me winning and getting back on the bike, and he was absolutely thrilled. But yeah, he said I was pretty messed up. And, yeah, he said he was really sorry that he couldn't do any more to say than really.
Laying in your hospital bed and everyone has just left, what are the first thoughts that come to your mind?
Yeah, a lot of things. I guess relieved to still be here. And then there's the other thing with the hand, and at that point it was wrapped in a bandage, and so it was just like a broken hand. You think, oh, it's just going to get better. And there's a lot of dreams where you have where they're there. They grow back or something like that. So it's not till now when the bandage comes off and it really does sink in that they're gone. And that probably leads on to the hand therapy, getting a lot of treatment to strengthen my hand and to bring it back to everyday use, like little things like opening the door, picking up bottles and that kind of thing. Just getting it back to 80-90% of how it was.
What about the cycling? When you finished, that was your big goal at the time. So how did you feel about your cycling? What did you think had happened to your dreams at that point?
I thought it was over. Laying in bed and obviously mum and dad they said it was a last of the problems. You're still here. Cycling is a sport. It's just you're still here. And sitting there, I was thinking, how maybe I can, we'll see how we go. But I thought, running will turn to running. It's all legs. There's no holding the handlebars. There's no worrying about control, that kind of thing. So, I always had a passion for running. It was always going to be. There was always backup plans. Cycling didn't really work out.
How long did it take you to get back onto the bike?
I got the bandage off probably about a month after the accident, and from then on I got on the bike and just I got on the wind train to the stationary bike and just started off half an hour, 10 minutes and half an hour, and slowly build up and slowly build up so I can do an hour. And then there was one time where I did get on an hour and I just smashed myself. I did a full effort and I was almost threw up just because of the fitness that wasn't there. And that was probably real guttering for me to be at an elite level when my fitness was really up there to now struggling to do an hour and struggling to do an effort and not reaching the power and the heart rate that I was reaching.
Yeah, so really did change your goals from where over that month. It was a big life-changing experience for you. Everything just your whole world basically been turned upside down. So we'll go into this one, the next clip here. Recovery, back onto the bike. Getting back into competitive racing, did you fear re-injuring yourself?
Oh, for sure. And I had a race last weekend, and it didn't really go any way with my hand playing up and that kind of thing. And it's still 4 months on, so we're still learning and trying to adapt to overcome and to help with this injury. So trying to work up a glove at the moment to not only help with cushioning and protection, but in case you do fall off, it's always a possibility. And when you're in a bunch, when there's only centimetres to the other rider, it always crosses your mind thinking, if I come off, you basically at square one, or you can do more damage to it. So it's still a mental and physical battle at the moment, but it's just going to take time, I think.
I think something that's I think with your after your accident, how long did it take when you went to up to the para?
Yeah, so Paris was actually I was going to race the under 23s nationals. There's different categories, so I had me mindset on that. That was the goal. So to be up and fit for nationals in January, and to have this incident, it's really pushed everything back. And nationals was last thing on my mind, and then someone threw up the idea, you race Paris, which never really thought of. So went down that day, qualified and went there. And, funnily enough, got second in the time trial and first in the road race. And it wasn't really so much about the awards and the winnings, it was just being on the bike. That was probably the most special moment for me, just being back on the bike and doing what I love.
So what kind of modifications have you had to make to the bike?
Yeah, so as I've got loss of fingers, everything's on the left. So I've got electronic gearing, which controls everything on the left side. The front brake, I've transferred that over to the left side. We're still working with that at the moment to see what works. Maybe in the future, trying to turn over the back brake, so at a certain point the back brake gets engaged at the same time as the front brake. So it's still a learning process, but the gears on the left side has definitely helped a lot with the injury and having my right hand just basically standing there and just worrying about holding on.
So the bike, how much does the bike come to now? It's
I think we've worked out with the race wheels and that on probably 13 grand, a bit over 13 grand. So that's with the Shimano gearing and the frame and obviously the wheels. It's pretty expensive.
Can you explain the difficulties in riding a bike with one hand? I mean, a lot of people, there's a lot of things that I haven't actually thought about on this myself.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. You think you're just holding the handlebars. It's pretty simple. Loss of fingers. It's pretty simple. But there's a lot of things that I've really experienced that you don't think of. Going over bumps, you don't have the grip and the hold to really hold on to the handlebars over bumps and that kind of thing. And it's not only trying to hold on. It's okay. You can hold on, but it's your whole arm and your shoulders are compensating for that strength and trying to hold on to the handlebars.
Becoming a national champion.
It was pretty emotional, especially I attacked. It was a 65k course, it was. I attacked a quarter of the way through and rode to the line by myself, finishing a few minutes ahead of the next rider. The whole way with the K to go, it was pretty emotional really, coming into the finish line. And again, you know, it wasn't really the awards. It was more, I'm back on the bike. You know, I'm back on the bike, not knowing if I was ever going to do it again. So yeah, there was mixed emotions. Obviously, winning was very special, but yeah, being back on the bike was probably the biggest one.
How loud was mum and dad cheering you outside when you crossed the line?
Yeah, they were there supporting, and yeah, they were pretty emotional too. You know, seeing me back on the bike. Obviously, they're the same as me. You know, they never thought I was going to ride again, and to see me in the first race, back, it's pretty special.
Yeah. It is very inspirational to see someone that is going through such life-changing experience in their life to be able to still chase a goal, still get out there and tackle the next thing in life. Prosthetics or anything like that? Are they?
Yeah, again, you know, we're only 4 months in, so you know, we're trying to work with doctors and hand therapists to try and, you know, work something out. And we're in a modern age where, you know, technology is getting better and better. It's advancing pretty quickly. So, you know, who knows the next couple of years? You know, it could be 10, 15 years. You know, there could be prosthetics, but yeah, at this point, it's obviously trying to create a glove and more or less trying to protect it and you know, give us some strength and some cushioning to do everyday things, you know, like riding a bike
Is the goal still to go to Europe and finish your cycling career and make it elite?
Yeah, it's always the goal. Obviously, got a few more obstacles to go. Obviously, with the hand, but yeah, that is a dead set goal. How far I'll get with the sport is you know, we'll see. There's races over in Europe and France where you're racing over cobblestones and that kind of thing. So, you know, we'll just have to see. But you know, if I can't get to that elite level, then so be it. But, yeah, just at the moment, trying to get to the highest level possible, and whether that is just nationally, that'll be good enough.
Liam's also, not only did his world change with his dreams of his sport, but very keen to get into the police force. How has it impacted
Yeah, I've been talking to a whole different people, both ex-coppers and people around. We've had different opinions, but everyone has basically said, you know, that you can get in, which I haven't really held on that opinion, but I went into the cop station. I've been talking to different people, and they said as long as you can do the role that's you know, applicable for you, you'll be right. So you know, whether you know, using it to pull out a taser or that kind of thing. So you know, like still trying to get some strength into it and try and help that to make my chances as high as possible.
Very good. I'd just like to thank Liam for coming in today. Look, as a 20-year-old kid, he's definitely got the right attitude. And he's I think there's lots more to come in Liam and Edward's story. Thank you very much for spending your time and coming across to this island, and good luck with the run tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming down. It's been pretty special to try and tell my story, and it's good little island that I've never really had a chance to come down, and it's actually pretty laid back, and it's awesome to come down and experience everything and the cheese, and to try and tackle this last little hill tomorrow.
Very good. Just one last question before we go. Is it Curry, Grassy or North?
Grassy.
Be very careful.
Yeah, I can treat this as a political question, but I guess the longest time I was spent was being Curry that I've spent here, but it's pretty. I've heard it's pretty hotly debated here.
Looking around the room, I think you probably made the right decision. Very good. Thank you very much, Liam.